Hello, future listeners of Strixhaven. I forgot to record an entire section with an improv play, but please know that key points of it were Dove played a princess who was half owlbear and whose dad was an owlbear, and they were madly in love with Quintilius, the son of a sock puppet, and it was very funny. But unfortunately, Dev, because not even you can have nice things, I'm gonna need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Get fucked. 23.
23?
Yeah.
Nice. So, as you are doing this dramatic scene, you're leaning heavily on Quintilius. You start to hear a commotion behind you, followed by heavy steps running at you. All you can do is throw yourself to the ground to avoid being charged by whatever was behind you. As you look and you see the hulking form of an angry owlbear, no longer flattened, and eyes staring straight at you.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
So this is whenever I put on the combat music and everybody gets to roll initiative.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god. Dad,
Yes.
no.
1 second, let me get the music. Okay, and then we put on the music. Okay, everybody put in combat chat your initiatives. We got some pretty good initiatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
Delightful. I am going to very quickly pause, and I will make sure to press play again after I'm done doing an initiative. Yeah.
Motiva wants to make it the most uncomfortable, loud siren
thumping?
wail. Like, it sounds like a tornado siren.
Oh, that's really neat. Okay, cool, yeah. So tell me what that is going to do to the people around you, but then also this creature you're fighting.
So it's not going to actually do anything to the people around me except be mildly uncomfortable. It's centered on me, so Rosie's probably uncomfortable, and it is heard up to 100 feet away.
Ooh, very
But
good. Very good.
I can make a bonus action to charm a creature, and you said that it tried to attack me, so it's within 5 feet, right?
Yes.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Yes, I will say I have to look it up though, because I think that I get advantage if it's hostile. So 1 second. Because I know some spells say that, so let me see.
It doesn't say that actually anywhere.
If you or your companions are attacking it, the creature automatically succeeds. So
Nobody's attacked it though, right?
Yeah, nobody's attacked it, but it is hostile, so I will let you try it because this is a gray area of this rule.
My save DC is 14.
Yeah, hell yeah. So what was the thing again?
Charm. It's a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. Yep. Gotcha. Oh, this thing isn't good at that. Hilarious. I got a 9.
Cool. It is now charmed, and it will be charmed until the end of the spell and an hour after. Motiva's literally going to call out to everybody, don't touch it.
Okay, cool. So just as a heads up, being charmed is now... Okay, so it is now friendly to you, as long as you keep up this spell.
It is for this spell and an hour after.
Okay.
I think Unearthly Chorus is a very solid spell. But if anybody attacks it, it automatically fails. So Motiva literally is just like, nobody touch it, please.
Okay.
I will say, though, it sounds horrible around her.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So 1 second, actually.
Oh shit.
If it's that loud, people aren't going to hear you that far away. Okay. We move past the mimic's turn, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything just yet. However, you can still hear sort of the noises of panic running around as you are attempting to charm this creature and keep it charmed. You know what I mean? And with that, then, we're gonna go over to Flynn.
Oh.
Hey, Flynn, bestie.
Hi.
How are you gonna try to get this slimy blanket off your friend?
Ooh.
I am. Oh boy. I had a plan, but now I'm second guessing it.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. I am going to cast Sapping Sting on it.
Okay.
So it does 1d4 necrotic damage, and then it also has to make a Constitution save. And if it fails, it takes the damage and it falls prone.
Ooh, that's very fun. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and... Sorry, I am reading this stat block. Okay, let me go ahead and roll that. Constitution. That was unfortunately a nat 20 to make a 23. So it isn't knocked prone, but go ahead and roll your damage.
Actually, I think... Because I think because it's a cantrip, so I think it just nothing happens.
Oh, really? Oh, beans, that sucks. I'm sorry.
That's the bitch about cantrips, which like I kind of understand, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they're such low level spells, you know?
Right. I'll try something next time.
Yeah, do you have any bonus actions you want to try to cash in on?
Oh, do I have any? Is Eleni, like, hurt already?
You can't tell, if there is any injuries, but you do know that, like, Eleni is, like, freaking out and, like, struggling against the thing. But you can't really tell if that is just injured or scared yet. Yeah.
The only bonus action thing I have right now is Healing Word, so I'm gonna not.
Yeah, save your Healy boys. I get it.
Yeah. Oh wait, free action.
Yeah.
Call out to Xanther.
Yeah. What are you calling out to Xanther? Are you just yelling for him to come over?
Yeah. I'm just gonna yell out for him and say, trouble, please help now.
Delightful. Okay. You definitely see that he is, like, aware of the situation because, basically immediately after, it engulfed Eleni and Eleni started struggling and, like, yelling, people, again, are sort of, like, panicking. They're, like, freaking out. Nobody really knows, like, what to do about the situation. But you see, as soon as you, like, call out to, Xanther, Xanther is now making his way over to where you guys are.
Thank God.
Yeah. We are gonna take that, and I'm gonna roll really quickly for Eleni really quick. Eleni is still struggling against this creature and isn't really able to free themselves just yet. So now we're gonna popcorn over to Dove. Dove, what are you doing in the face of this owlbear? You are currently knocked prone, but you can stand up if you like.
Yes. I really wanted to use sleep, but I don't think it would work on owlbear. I feel like they have a lot of HP, but I don't know.
No, that's fair. We don't really... Hilariously, owlbears are a very iconic animal that we've never fought.
I know. It's weird. So it ran past me and Dove threw themselves to the ground. Does that mean it's like currently facing Quintilius?
It turned and it is looking at you, but it hasn't done anything
Oh.
yet. So Quintilius is like, I want to say
I'm
maybe
your
like
daughter. You can't treat me this way.
Quintilius is about maybe 5 to 10 feet to your left.
Okay. I think Dove is going to stand, so I'll use half my movement to
Okay.
stand up just in case. Sorry, give me 1 second.
No, you're okay.
Okay. I think Dove is actually going to stand up, point at it, and then say, I teach you some manners, but I doubt you're capable of learning them, and then is going to cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Get its ass!
Drag him.
So that is going to be a Wisdom saving throw. You need my DC is a 15.
Okay, sick. Owlbears are not very wise. I don't know if you know that. I got a fat 3.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck.
So the first thing that happens is that I'm going to roll. That is 2 psychic damage,
Okay.
and it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Ooh, that's very good. So disadvantage on the next attack roll. Delicious.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's basically all I can do. Is it right up on me? Like, would it, like, do I feel like it would swipe at me if I tried to move?
100% yes.
I think Dove is gonna stay where they are.
Fair enough, bestie. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, is that your whole turn?
I think Dove is going to, like, glance over to Quintilius, trying, like, not to move too much, and is just going to tell him to run.
Interesting. Okay. You see him hear you say that, and there's sort of like this expression on his face where there's sort of like a set in his jaw, and you see that you can see because you're looking at him, but you see that out of the owlbear's technical line of sight, he is trying to draw his rapier.
Ooh. That's...
A lot of these bitches know how to fight. I wasn't
Wait.
gonna give you CR3 enemies and them and like you not have
Hold
help.
on. Wait,
CR3?
wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
When Dove sees Quintilius doing that, as kind of a build-up from that, Dove is going to give him Bardic Inspiration, because that's a bonus action.
Woo! Tell me what you're doing
So-
as you're scared shitless.
So Dove is going to see him do that, and then just kind of, like, slowly nod, in a way that's like, well, I guess I'm not gonna stop you, because you're not
Yeah.
gonna listen. I don't... sorry.
No, you're okay. It doesn't have to be music or dancing. It can also be just
Yeah.
stirring words.
I know. I'm just trying to think of what to say.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to say. So Dove sees Quintilius do that, slowly nods,
Mhm.
gives a very small smile, and then says, "Let's teach this thing not to interrupt our plays anymore."
All right, you give inspiration. That's a D6 for you right now.
Yes,
Okay,
that is you can add it to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Delicious. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Wait a second. Oh no, wait, that wasn't it. I was about to be like, oh, Motiva gave Bardic Inspiration to somebody, but that's Chad. Chad's not here.
He might need it.
He might need it, that's fine. But you might have needed it also. Okay, so with that, we're going to end this round of your moves. And now we're going to get a little bit spicy. Let's hop back over to Motiva. What are you doing immediately in the middle of this sort of loud, cacophonous panic? Rosie is like right next to you, kind of like trying to direct students who are running either in this direction or nearby. But it's just a really like chaotic situation that's happening right now. What are you doing?
I'm going to do something stupid and insane. Motiva's going. I'm going to try and use a persuasion check, if that's okay, on the mimic.
Okay. What are you
I
trying to do?
I have advantage on persuasion, and I'm going to try and like cool it down. I'm like herding it like it's a cow.
Okay. Let me see really quick.
Motiva's like gonna try and like pet it and like try to defuse everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you could go ahead and attempt that. I went to check if it knows any languages, and it doesn't. So your words won't change anything, but your actions might. What'd you get? Oh.
12.
Okay, well, I'm gonna...
It will still be under my thrall.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
might not like it.
I'm not gonna make you... 1 second. I love to use dice rolls to decide things like this. I think that, like, it's letting you hurt it, but kind of like the way that, like, you hurt a cat, and you know how sometimes we do this with Lily, but then she kind of seems to be getting, like, mad, but she's not, like, biting us, you know?
Mhm.
I think it's like that. I think you can tell that it's not really working, but it's not attacking you, and you have managed to move it. How are you trying to move it? Like, where are you trying to go?
Tiva, so you said that Rosie is directing students, right?
Yeah, Rosie is like really stepping up as an older student and trying to actually keep a lot of students away from the area.
Yeah, Motiva's going to take it away from where Rosie is taking people.
Okay, cool. As you kind of move, Rosie also kind of takes steps back with you to try to not leave you alone with this creatura that, as far as she knows, doesn't know if it's gonna like start biting anymore, right?
Yeah. Motiva just gives it a thumbs up.
Yeah, and that is another turn gone by for you.
This is so scary.
Yeah. Baby little level ones. All right, Falin, we are back to you. Xanther is currently en route. Eleni has not managed to get out of this creature's grasp. What are you doing?
I am going to.
Yeah.
This is so hard for you, Sarah. I'm so sorry.
My instinct is to be like, I grab the thing and try to pry it off, but her strength is so shit.
Like, you could try. I can't guarantee that it would work very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, God.
Yeah, what's up?
I want to cast Magic Missile. Would
Yeah.
you allow me to, like, hit the blanket with one and see what happens, and then decide where the other two go?
That's a very interesting thing. I will say yes, but I will say that if you want to not have the rest of them hit the creature, you will have to fully abort the spell. So it's
Okay.
not like you cast one and then if it's like bad, you get to send it somewhere else. I feel like you would have to make the conscious decision to only send one, and then use the spell slot as normal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because that's a control thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do that. I'm sending one.
Okay, so let's send one. Go ahead and roll your attack and also your your damage because it automatically hits.
Is because magic missile.
Yeah, magic missile is really cool like that. I like that it automatically hits everything all the time, even if it's weak.
That is 3 force damage.
3 force damage. Okay, let me look at this creature really quick. Because hilariously enough, it's not a cloaker. So a couple things happen as you send it. It seems to not hurt Eleni more than they are being hurt right now. But after you send forth this damage, you see that it goes. And you see along the edges of this blanket, teeth start to appear. And you hear Eleni let out a scream. As they take damage. Not from your spell, but just damage.
Can I bonus action healing word?
I will say yeah, because I'm gonna say that this stuff is happening really quickly in real time, and since you didn't use a bonus action, I'll let you use it right now.
Okay.
You're basically doing one-on-one fights with some occasional things around the field helping you.
Yeah. Okay, let me get my D4 again. Plus 7.
Ooh, 7 healing?
Yes.
Ooh, very delicious, actually. That's very good healing. You wouldn't technically
those
know this,
are-
but Eleni is topped back up. That's nice.
I am out of spell slot.
Fair bestie!
Level 1!
Level 1! Oh, I knew that this was going to be a shit show when I wrote this in. Don't worry. Awesome. So, with that, Xanther is also moving closer to you, specifically. Okay. You see by the end of this section that Xanther is now easily within 10 feet, and is actually going to attack La Creatura. I have to get the stat block. Thank you for being so patient. I know this is technically such slow combat, but it's so many things happening at once.
No, you're you're totally okay.
Hang on.
I'm very worried about Mackenzie and Sarah.
Woo.
I got Philin in her cheerleading outfit.
What a time to have that happen. Whoa.
Wow, I love that.
She's so
Wow, that's what
pretty,
you look like
though.
while you're dying right now.
Dying in style.
I am
So-
looking cute.
So I'm gonna flex on something very cool right now, actually, that, I actually wanna say something very cool that Xanther does. So Xanther has now gotten within 10 feet of you. And now you get to see him use one of, Prismari's cool abilities on their stat blocks. And Philin, you see Xanther do something that's almost like a misty step if the mist were like colored powders and pigment in the air. Like you swear you can see brush strokes almost as he essentially teleports next to this creature.
Oh.
And the force of him reappearing knocks the creature down. Eleni is obviously still in this creature's grasp, but that does add a little bit of damage to this creature. So that is something that has happened. And with that, we are going to go over to Dove. Hi, Devi.
Hi.
What are you
Hi.
doing?
I guess waiting to see if it fucking tries to attack me.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Has disadvantage, just so you're aware.
I am very aware. I would never want to kill you,
Uh-huh.
but I will
I have 9
warn you.
HP. I have 9 HP.
the owlbear is only going to get disadvantage on one of these attacks, though. So.
Oh, it has multi-attack. That's great. Well, it was a great knowing everybody. Great playing Strixhaven with you.
Okay.
I think the stat block might have been adjusted.
Does an 11 hit you, Dev, right now?
No.
Oh, nice. Okay, but now's the real one.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, it got a nat 1. So as you're sort of like stepping back in this sort of like this bright Garrisuit, you two are the only two people left on this stage right now, as the earlier cheers and gasps and laughs are now like screams, with some people running, some people not knowing if they should help, if they should run, like frozen, watching. And you step back and it misses with the first swipe, and as you step back a second time, you almost do a sort of like half step, similar to dances that you've done, and it barrels past you. And as it moves, it gets an opportunity attack from Mr. Quintilius. I have to pull up Quintilius' stat block. I have so many stat blocks for all these NPCs.
That's
I wanna
okay.
die.
You can add the d6 to the attack roll if you want to.
Yes, I'm gonna, don't worry. Oh, do I want to be dramatic? Quintilius is dramatic.
Drama? You might as well pull the drama.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be the drama. So, you see Quintilius go to do this sort of elaborate incantation, as he goes to sort of wave his hand, in almost like a gesture for a bow, but right past you, in this sort of space between the both of you where this owlbear barreled through, you then see like a gust of wind blast toward it and pushes it now 15 feet away from you guys.
Oh.
As he uses a gust of wind. That does not give it any damage, but it does, the wind does stay up.
Mhm.
So now what's your turn?
Now it is my turn. I assume Vicus and Giselle are still here. What are they just doing just to get like a read on the field?
I think that of the people, okay, really quick, I'm gonna, because they were in different spots, I think that the one who's the farthest away is Vicus, but I feel like Vicus is sort of trying to assess the situation before getting any closer. Like, obviously, this is a fucking owlbear, terrifying, right? So he hasn't started moving yet, but you get the impression that since Giselle is closer, Giselle looks like she is trying to find something, whether it be like an item to use or like a way to leave. You're not really sure, but she's kind of like looking around, but she is closer than Vicus is in the stands.
Okay. God, I can only do so much.
You can really only give it a diss track.
Yeah.
Unless you want to try to use the environment or get away. You now wouldn't get opportunity attacks because it's now 15 feet away from you.
Mm-hmm. Is there any, like, weapons around? Like, behind the stage, or...
I want to say you... Roll me a perception really quick.
Okay. Oh, nat 20? 23?
Oh my god, that's a crazy thing to get a nat 20 on. So you start to look around frantically to try to find any sort of weapon. And all across this stage and in front of the stage and behind the curtains are like all of these sort of props. It's not like you are seeing like a weapons rack anywhere, but you can easily find like things you can use as improvised weapons, things like long poles or like comedian hooks and stuff like that,
Mhm.
fake swords, pieces of wood, that sort of thing. So you could definitely find something as sort of an improvised weapon, and I would have like the issues that come with improvised weapons, but it would be a physical thing to attack with. I will say, since you got a nat 20 on this, you also probably could take advantage of the fact that this the center of this stage can actually be triggered to like spin and rise because it's a dynamic stage, and there are even things like behind the set or around the set that you think you could use, like dropping the curtains on it, dropping a light on it, that sort of thing. There are resources around here that you could probably use to your advantage in your goal to survive.
Interesting.
Yes. I wasn't going to tell anybody about these secret objectives, but you got a nat 20 on me, and I was like, ooh, I better
Dang.
reward that. That's fun.
Is there a way to like raise the part of the stage that we're both on?
So the part that
or
So the part that raises with raised stages is usually like a circle in the middle. It'll like spin and rise up. So not technically raise the spot of the area that you're on, but you probably could like trigger the stage to rise via a panel like behind the curtain, and then try to run and climb it before it gets too high, if you are specifically trying to do it to be high up, if that makes sense.
okay. Did Quintilius not use his bardic inspiration?
No, he did.
Okay.
Wait, no,
Did
actually,
he-
because it didn't damage. No, he didn't. He still has
Okay,
it.
okay,
Delicious.
cool.
Thank you for clocking me on that.
No, of course. I think I'm just gonna cast Vicious Mockery, just so I can at least do something to
Yeah.
it. So that's just another Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 6.
6. Okay. So that's 1 psychic damage, but it does have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Delicious. Don't worry, that's super useful right now.
And I feel like I think that's all I'm gonna do at the moment.
Yeah, so are you gonna just stay where you are and not move?
I think so, because like in my mind it's like, yeah, I could get on the center of the stage, but it's not gonna go away.
Yeah, 100%. I totally get that. Okay, yeah, so we'll leave that there. I will roll for the other two really quick. Okay, all right. Nice. We're gonna go back over to Motiva really quick. Hi, Motiva.
Hi.
What are you doing with this charmed mimic?
I think Motiva's going to stop moving it. She's going to go up to Rosie and she's going to say, so I know you can't hear me very well, but this won't attack me for a long time. But I need to keep its eyes on me. And she like looks back and starts singing again, and then looks back to Rosie and says, if anybody comes near us, I need you to tell them we cannot attack this.
Rosie listens and gives a very serious nod. You see that she's taking this extremely seriously compared to her normal personality. And she kind of yells over the music. You got it. I'll do my best. Try and... She looks at the thing and she like gives like this sort of like hesitant look and says, can you try and like get it in something?
Like a room?
Yeah, or like a box, but not like another mimic box, just like a normal one this time. Would be cool.
Is there anything like that nearby us?
I want to say, because since you walked away from the side of the LARP, not technically, but you probably could find a building to try to duck into. Most of the buildings in this area, though, are... Oh, wait, no, because you're in front of the Biblioplex. So yeah, the only building here is actually the Biblioplex.
There's rooms in the Biblioplex, right?
Yes, but you would have to get it all the way through the atrium and into a room that's not around people. And you know that the Biblioplex has a lot of like people in it,
It's true.
generally.
Uh. Hold on.
How's everybody doing?
I'm having a grand old time.
That's what I thought. Motiva's going to say, I'm going to try and put it in an empty classroom.
Like in there?
Yeah,
Well, you can't take it in there.
I don't know where else to put it. Should I bring it back to the LARP area?
Rosie kind of looks around. Drop it over the bridge?
Oh my god. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What's up?
Yeah, we can just do that. Motiva's literally going to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna try to herd it over to the edge of the bridge?
Yes.
Okay, roll me another persuasion.
Yeah. Motiva will answer. I will need your help knocking it down.
I cannot hear you when you do
I
that.
will need your help knocking it down.
No. What? Like
Knocking
kicking it
it-
over?
It will not go on its own.
There. Okay.
23.
Alright. You see Rosie goes to like clap her hands together in like rubber hands and like takes up like a football stance.
Oh.
This tiny gnome. Alright, and so you manage to sort of corral it over to the edge. Taking what you had noticed from earlier about how it doesn't seem to like the idea of you touching it. But you get it over to like sort of the railing to the Biblioplex. And then you immediately hear Rosie said, all right, let's fucking do this. And you see Rosie go to basically like, ooh, let's see. Actually, gotta make sure she gets it. Got to narrative for a second. Never mind, nat 20. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She goes to like run to shoulder tackle it, but instead of like getting it to the ground, it's to specifically like get her shoulder under it to like pick it up and heave it over the side. And as it goes, it sort of like lashes out a tooth into like her arm, which damages her a little bit. But it sort of lets out this loud screech as it falls over the side of the railing. Motiva, you are now out of initiative. I will not be coming back to your section until all the fights are done.
Dabs.
1 second, because... Okay, I will say Rosie is bloodied.
Motiva can use a cure wounds.
Oh, do you want to use one right now?
I will use my last spell slot on Rosie. This I will do.
Okay, go ahead and give me that really quick.
1d8 plus 4. 5.
Oh my god, she's back up to full. Everybody has such little HP. Okay. Yeah, you do that. You're helping Rosie nurse her wounds as everybody sort of freaks out, and now you're taken out of initiative. And we're gonna go back to Falin. Hi, Falin.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to grab it.
Okay, try to grab it.
Get off.
Get him!
Okay, cool. So, this is gonna be an athletics contest.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, delicious. Okay, cool. Go ahead and give me yours.
3.
rolled a 5, but I have a -2.
Oh my fucking god. You almost got it. Bestie, you almost got
I was
it.
so close.
I like to imagine that, yeah, you got really into it. Like, you probably got, like, your whole arm, like, under it for a second. And you were almost able to grapple it. But the edges sort of suction back onto, Eleni. And I'm now going to let's see if it damages you really quick. So that's a nat 20. So I hope you don't die, bestie.
Oh dear lord.
Oh.
Lux, help me.
Okay,
Lex,
okay.
help him.
It's not that bad. You only took 4 damage.
Okay.
That could have been really bad. Yeah, so that's what you spend your turn doing. You take that damage, and now I'm going to do Xanther's turn really quick.
Xanther, baby, please.
My bestie.
Xanther, I'm scared.
He's going to try to get you out of this. Okay, alright, so he is going to do a, okay, no, wait. Yeah, he's right up on it. So he's going to do a melee spell attack. As he sort of lashes out, his fist covered in, roiling flames. And he most definitely hits this thing. Alright, let's fucking go.
Fucking get it.
Okay, alright, okay, so that's a lot of damage. As it
Oh,
sort of
shit.
singes the corner of this thing and it lets out a screech. And sort of almost as like an afterthought, it lets go of Eleni, who's now like gasping for air. 1 second. And you see almost as soon as Eleni's knees hit the ground, you see them go to look over their shoulder and go to also let loose an attack. Basically taking moisture in their palm and sort of like throwing it at the thing as it sort of crystallizes into ice in midair. And that also hits. And you see as that happens, the blanket creature with its underside of flesh and its trim of teeth sort of curls up on itself with this sort of unholy screech as it curls up like a dead spider. And you are also now out of combat.
Can't wait for Vicus to one-hit kill this fucking owl bear.
All right, Dove, what are you doing?
What is the owlbear doing?
I will see what the owlbear is doing. The owlbear is currently still being buffeted by the wind, so to move closer, I believe I have to do some things. Okay, I have to roll strength save for it really quick. Okay, that's pretty good. It is going to slowly and painstakingly sort of walk against this gust of air, snarling as it tries to get to either you or Quintilius, and I'm going to see which one can hit. Well, glad that one was a disadvantage. The owlbear's swipe at you misses, and almost like it's frustrated that it can't hit you, it turns towards Quintilius, and it's going to try to hit him.
Wow.
Oh, it does hit him. Oh god, okay.
Oh god.
Okay, you see Quintilius take a decent amount of damage. There is blood, but he's not bloodied, essentially, if you want a good gauge of where he's at. So, Albert has just struck Quintilius. What would you like to do, Dev? Or do you want to try to wait to see if any of the other pieces that are moving can do something? It's entirely up to you if you are, like, actively doing stuff, or if you are waiting to see.
Mm-hmm. I think Dev is going to run over to Quintilius and reach out to touch him, and is going to cast Heroism on him.
Ooh, okay.
So he's going to get 5 temporary HP, and he is also immune to being frightened, which I don't think applies here, but he gets 5 temp HP.
That's still so juicy, though.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. He gets that at the start of each of his turns.
That's so exciting.
Ooh.
Oh, and he's about to get a turn. Exciting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do Quintilius's thing, and then I'm going to see if Giselle or Vicus do stuff. I think that Quintilius is going to do a similar thing to what he actually showed you once, Dove, where he sort of takes his rapier and sort of weaves this sort of ice cold along the blade and is going to try to hit. He whiffs it as the owlbear sort of ducks down. He does this sort of wild swipe over its head. There's that. So then let's see what the other two are doing. As you're sort of there next to Quintilius, giving him that sort of heroism, you see that Vicus is now about halfway down the sort of steps of these stands, and you can no longer see where Giselle is. And since you are both in melee of this owlbear, I'm going to do some more hitties.
Sure.
Does a 12 hit you, Dove?
Yes, that is my AC.
Damn rip. Okay. Hey, how's the 7 damage looking for you?
Extremo bloodied. I have 2 HP.
Interesting. It's also going to hit Quintilius again. Oh, ow. Owie zowie.
Owie zowie.
The temp HP goes first.
No, yeah, it's definitely helping. It's helping a lot on that Quintilius damage. Quintilius is now bloodied. Dev, what are you doing?
I don't know what to do with this situation. There's no fucking way to get it to go away. I'm just a guy.
The message to all bitches: survive.
Yeah, for
All
real.
bitches survive.
I think Dove is going to try to cast sleep on it, if just to get like a minute of reprieve. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, I need to roll some d8s.
How many d8s do you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 29. Does it have that much HP or does it have more?
Oh, let me check for you. Unfortunately, it has more HPs than that.
That's okay. I use the spell anyway, so that's fine.
Okay. Do you want to use your bonus action for anything?
I think Dove will see Vicus coming down, and I think Dove will grant Bardic Inspiration to him as well. And I just think Dove will say something along the lines of like, please help us.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Owie zowie.
Owie zowie.
Okay.
Oh,
So something very interesting happens right now, right? Because seemingly out of nowhere, as you're sort of calling to Vicus, you and Quintilius bloody on this stage, right next to this owlbear, that's seemingly taking like no damage. Nothing is stopping it. You hear a sort of whistle in the air as something slams into the side of this owlbear, and it looks almost like a makeshift harpoon as the rope goes taut and starts trying to pull it physically away from you.
Who did that?
Are you looking around?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, near the edge of the curtains, actually, Giselle is pulling on a hand crank used for the ropes for the curtains.
no.
Yeah.
Fat girls are strong. Girls from Innistrad are fucking unreal.
Yeah.
And
Skinny
it is,
bitches.
and it is actually pulled 5 feet away from you. So that's still within melee, but it's like, you imagine the longer this goes on, the farther and farther it could be pulled away from you if you move away.
Perfect. Cool.
Yes. I should now roll for Quintilius, because Quintilius has stuff to do. I'm gonna try to do another sort of like attack of the Rapier. Sorry, go ahead.
He gets 5 additional temp HP now that it's his turn.
That's true. Thank you so much. That's such a good spell. It's really helping him.
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, what's the pause? What's the add to that? I hope you guys are having fun. I think this is a very interesting combat scenario.
Fucking scary. I am so scared for you, Mackenzie.
Okay, Quintilius hits this time, which is delightful, because this is a lot of damage as an attack. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. And you now see that Vicus is about 1/4 of the stands away from you at this point. I'm gonna see if he has any ranged abilities. Because he could be close enough now.
These are my babes.
You want to
They fight over me. They kill owlbears for me. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to pick better spells.
Oh. May I recommend in this time of need some unearthly chorus?
Like,
it will
I
only work
definitely,
on bitches bad at charisma, but
I definitely like Vicious Mockery, and what I have is an out of character for Dove anyway, because they're not like a big fighty person. Usually they would do what Mativa would do and try to solve it with non-violence, but also a fucking owlbear just came at them.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. I don't think the way you built Dove is bad at all. It's just none of you were prepared for combat, which was technically what I wanted anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vicus is about to do something cool as fuck as a 4th year, right? So you see Vicus running down these steps, right? Like, intent on whether it's just specifically to save you or to, like, end the threat, whatever, right? But he is, like, running down directly at this situation. And as he gets to the 1/4 mark away from you. He's maybe only like 20 feet away from you at this point, right? You see his form start to change.
Whoa.
And he sort of takes on this appearance of vines and leaves and shadow and muck blending together into a new form. It's described as an avatar of plants and shadow.
Moss Man.
And as he does this, you can see the pits of his eyes gleaming black with the shadow around him as he flicks a wrist. And he is going to try to hit with an attack called Briar Vine, which is kind of like a Thorn Whip situation. And that hits. And this does a lot of damage. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So you see him do this, and he flings this vine out to slash across the flank of this owlbear. And you see it sort of be overcome with sort of this air of miasma and shadow as it dies. By the time it hits the ground, it is just a flat plank of wood again as it hits the stage, and you four are alone. I want you guys to know that that did like 28 damage.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get rid of the tense music.
Shit.
Because now you're all out of initiative.
Shit.
How's everybody doing? Who wants to resolve their thing first? Well, actually, can I pee really quick? Can I pee really quick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so who wanted to go first?
Both of these
Go.
bitches wanted me to go because they were worried about me.
Yeah, so in the seconds as you watch this thing die and turn back into just a cutout, Dove, how do you feel and what do you do? I want to hear your agency before I describe what's happening around you.
I think Dove's very nice, like red velvet with like the black sheer top. It's like ripped in like 3 places where like I think it just slashed across them. And that's like bloodied. It's like crusting at the edges, but like they are fucked up. They're like 2 HP from like falling unconscious, right? It's not looking good.
Yeah.
I think their hair is just like a wild mess, but I think of course the first thing they're going to do is look to Quintilius, the other person who got hurt, and is just going to like touch his shoulder and be like, "Are you all right?"
You see that he goes to put his hand on your hand where you're holding him, and he says, I was going to say I've had worse, but that would be a bit of a lie. But
Yes,
we're alive, aren't we?
I'm just glad that we made it out of that all right. That could have gone a lot worse.
As you both are sort of having this moment, you see both of the other 2 people nearby go to come and rush forward. I'm actually going to describe a very cool thing.
What the hell?
Very cool thing. 1 second. Sorry, I remembered something and I can't find it. There's a thing that I... There it is. I found it. Ooh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of do this cool thing where as you guys are having this moment, you see Giselle sort of come to rush forward from the wings, and Vicus finally comes in front of you guys, and sort of drops the form that he is in, so he transforms into his normal self. But you also see him go to immediately cast a spell that you don't recognize. And it sort of gives this sort of 10-foot sphere around you guys, this sort of like muted, monotone pallor over it. But you, in particular, feel invigorated. You get to roll one of your hit die and add a +3 to it to regain health.
Ooh.
Mm.
That's a D8.
Yeah.
D8. And then I add what to it?
3.
Oh, 4, but I'll take it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's 4. That's 4 more HPs. I think that officially makes you not bloodied, but only barely.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm only missing 3 HP.
Yeah. And you see as a Giselle runs up beside herself and is like, "Dove, are you okay?"
I'm all right. I just but did I just don't know what happened exactly. It turned back into cardboard again.
As you look over at the cutout, you can see uh, the like improvised harpoon still piercing the wood. You can see all the way through that it is just wood. You can investigate it if you like as a roll. But nothing looks out of the ordinary. It looks like it's made of wood, but that felt
Uh,
real when it was tearing
y-
up your insides.
yeah, I think Dove is going to reach out a hand and place one on the arm of Giselle and one on the arm of Vicus and just smile at them both and say, "Thank you for helping. You really didn't have to, but both of us, I'm sure, very much appreciate it."
Vicus actually looks at you with kind of a serious expression, and he says, "You've got to get better at that."
I wasn't expecting an owlbear to attack me. The the thing I'm best at is helping other people. And I lived in a city my whole life. I'm not really expecting something like that to come and attack me.
You see, he kind of like huffs this like incredulous laugh, and he's like, "Right, right." Um, And as you guys are sign of having this moment, people are starting to rush back in as you see mere minutes after you have solved the problem yourself. Faculty are rushing in, administration, teachers, mostly of Silver Quill Bent, but some other teachers that were on the campus in general are coming in and sort of
Yeah, I
assessing
do
the
definitely
situation.
I do definitely want to have to go up to that fucking cardboard and like take a look at it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation really quick.
Take it.
Shit. 3.
Oh,
Uh, Ooh, not one. No, wait, no, it's +1. It's a
Nope,
2.
it's a
Never mind.
2.
You're right. I
It's a
saw it. I'm
2.
sorry. 2. It's a 3. Okay, it's not great, but it's not a nat 1. Okay, so you look it over, and it looks more like worn than it did before, but you realize that you didn't really get a good look at it beforehand either because it just looks like a cutout. Like it has the wear of battle, but like that's the only proof that anything happened.
Uh, I think Dove will look back to the other 3 and maybe any faculty that are like coming up and just say, did someone do something to this? I'm looking, but I can't tell.
None of the other like students seem to know what's happening either. As faculty sort of surround you, you're kind of like given a barrage of like question after question of like what happened, what like how did this happen, like this sort of thing. Basically, trying to get a really detailed account of like what is happening. And one teacher, I'm gonna pick out who this teacher is. Actually, I didn't do that. One second. You sort of see this pale, dark-haired man in silver gold colors, obviously a professor, and he comes up to you and he actually tells you, with this sort of gravity to it, we don't know if something's been done to it, but this isn't the only incident we've had today. So it has to be something that was intentional.
What? Who else was affected?
And this is where we're gonna bounce back over to the other bitches. Who wants to go
Yay.
next?
Sarah, can you go next?
Oh,
Sarah's dead.
oh my god, Sarah's dead. Oh no.
They're probably filing a complaint. Sarah?
Sarah is dead. Do you want to just go while we're waiting?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. A very different scene is yours, where you are actually a pretty far way away from where this originally started, as you and Rosie kind of like look over the edge into like this yawning chasm that you're. No, that's okay, Sarah. I love you.
I love you.
Take your time. You'll have a couple more minutes to to be in your feels. I love you. But as you kind of like look down at this chasm, you can't really see the bottom of it, but you both know what that you just did together. Um, what are you doing, Motiva? What's your first thing that you do when you're out of combat?
Motiva's just gonna look to Rosie and just say, so we should head back, right?
Oh yeah, we need to find someone. We need to tell somebody about this.
Okay. Let's go. I hope that we were the only club that had problems.
Very meta of you.
Thank you.
Um, as you sort of wander back over to the LARP section, you see that some of the students are still back around milling around. But mostly it is kind of just faculty. Again, a lot of administration and some other professors. And you actually see second. You see this sort of older man, very dark skin, shock of white hair, wearing sufficiently creepy Witherbloom gear, is currently kneeling on one knee, tending to a hurt student. And you see as you get closer that this is you and Rosie's dear friend Caterus, who has a leg wound on his calf.
What happened?
As you sort of approach, do you like approach saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you get closer, they both kind of look up to you, and as you get closer, you see that it's not a super serious injury, but it is like blood. Um, and Cad looks at both of you and immediately looks relieved, despite looking a little pained, and says, "Oh, I'm really glad you guys got away. It nicked me before it started running off."
That was my fault. I charmed it. I'm sorry. I tried to make sure nobody got hurt.
Oh, you charmed it?
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Oh no, I mean I mean I'm the first person who saw it when it was still attacking people.
Oh. Yeah, I did. Mm, we threw it off a bridge.
The teacher looks uh like gives a sort of like stern look and says, so it's under the bridge now. Can you show me where you pushed it off? We'll need to investigate.
Oh, 100%, of course.
The
Um,
teacher finishes wrapping up. Uh Catarus's leg and gives a final healing spell before getting up and straightening out his robes to follow you over to the bridge. To sort of take stake of where it was. And you see he also sort of berates you with all of these questions about what happened. Did you notice anything weird about it? That sort of thing. And sort of after you both have this talk, you see he's like relaying this information through a basically a magical item on his ear, a sort of earring, sending information to other teachers.
Mhm. Is can I ask a question?
Sure.
Motiva's gonna look and say, did this happen to like a lot of people?
It depends on what you consider a lot, but there's been a handful of incidents like this over campus. But don't be alarmed. We're tightening security and we're starting an investigation immediately.
I need to check on my friends.
Of course. Take the time you need. You go and you check on your friends. Are you checking on which friends are you checking up on? The ones that were with you, or are you gonna go look around for your other guys?
I'm gonna check on the dueling boys.
Yeah, so they're actually in a different section of the central campus. You kind of go around, and you don't see any other. You ask them, and all of them are fine. They're kind of surprised to hear about it, but they did hear like the screaming and the commotion and that sort of thing. But from what you gather, no one else on the central campus had an incident.
As long as nobody's hurt, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, what would you like to resolve your interaction? How are you feeling?
You might wanna at Sarah. They can't
You
hear.
have to type them because they're deafened.
Oh, they're deafened. That's fair. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Pressing play. And we're gonna come back to Flynn. Flynn, what do you do the minute you're out of combat?
This I think Flynn's first instinct is to check on a lady and make sure they are okay.
Yeah, so you go to check on Elaney, and Elaney is kind of shaken. They're still like on their knees. But you can see like sort of whenever they attacked, and even now there's like a sharpness to their eyes. And they're kind of like watching the now dead thing. Which as you look at it, it also doesn't look like how it did when it was alive and attacking you. Now it looks again like a blanket, one of the blankets that you were sitting on. It looks completely normal. Um, but Elaney sees you kind of dip down to check on them, and they give you sort of a relieved smile, and they said, "Well, I mean, there had to have been some creatures somewhere. A lot of things try to eat you where I'm from."
Blankets normally try to eat you.
Well, no, not normally the blankets. Normally I see the creature and I know it will try to eat me. This was a bit of a surprise.
Yes, it did sneak up on us a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out right from under us. Elaney got jokes.
Yeah.
And you see, as you're sort of chit-chatting and checking on Elaney, Xanther is there, and Xanther hauls both of you up to standing. And I don't want to say gives you like a pat down because that feels different, but like like whenever you're like checking up on somebody and you're like low key giving them a pat down and like looking them over.
Mm-hmm.
He looks very worried. But he seems to be satiated by the fact that neither of you look hurt. Because you healed Elaney the only time that they were attacked. And he says, "That was fucking weird. What the hell was that?" I mean, pardon my
I-
French, but
In French?
Oh god, France exists.
France
French?
exists in Arcavios.
French?
Uh,
The French.
Flynn is going to look at him and just say, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. I thought it was just a normal blanket, and then suddenly there were teeth, and I
It had teeth?
yes."
You see Xanther kind of looks at it warily and goes to, like, kick a corner of it up with a sneaker warily. And about now is whenever you experience the same thing that the other two have, where sort of faculty is now on the scene. A lot of students are kind of on the fringes of the stadium that were kind of like running around whenever everything was happening. It was a bit too big of an area for people to really know what was going on. And you are approached by specifically, you see this sort of beautifully dressed fire genasi woman with this sort of like bright orange skin, hair that is reminiscent of fire, coming up to both of you, and her first response is to kind of put a hand on your shoulders and just asking, "Are you all right? I heard that there was a commotion. A creature came on campus."
Yes, I'm not. I am fine. My friend here, gestures to Eleni, was, for lack of a better term, being strangled by a blanket with teeth who we thought was just a regular blanket.
You see that they seem she seems beside herself as you're like explaining it, and she's like checking up on you, but also like sort of asking you the same questions of like what were the tells, like what was going on, like like full detailed rundowns. And she stays with you for kind of a while to check up on you, not just physically but also to make sure that you like emotionally feel okay to like leave. um and one second, I'm gonna get my soup out of that. And you're kind of left to your own devices as you're not even able to really get back to the crime scene, finger quotes for lack of a better term, the investigation scene, as faculty is starting to try to test and investigate to see if they can figure out what's going on.
I think Helena's gonna kind of like take Eleni's hand.
They squeeze your hand.
And yeah, and once we're farther away, is just going to look at them and just say, "Do you want to get some food? I want some food. I want a hot drink."
I would really like. I think I want copious amounts of alcohol and or narcotics.
Could not agree more.
So you guys go to the Bow's End as a way to sort of therapy yourself into feeling better after that situation. Now I have a question before I let you guys meet up again. Do you think Flynn is gonna get like, I want to forget this drunk? Are you getting like just a little bit tipsy? Are you just trying to unwind? I need to know your drunk scale before y'all meet up again.
Yeah, I think she was going for just to unwind, and she's leaning into tipsy.
That's a-okay. That's completely fine. Yeah. So you guys come back to your room after a very eventful day, all of you looking harrowed. An interesting thing of note when you get back to your dorm room is actually that Ashan is not here.
Where's bitch?
Which bitch?
Sean.
Well, not here.
This bitch would never miss out on an opportunity of learning that weird shit is going on. What the fuck?
My fear is that something also got him, but because he's a cool guy loner, he might have gotten stuck with something.
stupid ass.
Whenever I checked on the dueling club, were they fucked up at all?
No, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
chill. Ashawn was over there,
Ashawn-
yeah, but Ashawn didn't have
yeah.
an issue going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Motiva's at my you can shoot me down if you don't want to do this. God, Motiva's actually going to recommend that we talk to the fucking twins.
Yeah, Will and Rowan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can do that if you want to. Is that what you guys want to do about it?
Yeah.
If they don't know anything, perhaps we should go to Professor Onyx.
I think she'll just make fun of us, but sure.
Make fun of us all she wants, but that was. Did it affect anyone other than our 3 clubs?
That is a question.
It is
knows?
very odd.
Okay, you guys are gonna go over to Prismari to find the twins.
Yes, we manhunt the Kenriths.
Yeah, you manhunt the Kenriths. It is a busy day after clubs. Technically speaking, actually, Motiva, you would have seen Will and Rowan already because you went to check on the duel club.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, would you have like told them the basics that like
Yes,
something happened?
Absolutely. Motiva would absolutely like inform them that like a mimic fucking attacked her. She wouldn't call it a mimic, but a mimic fucking attacked her.
Box bit me.
Box bit me, actually bit my friends. It's a bitch. This is happening all around.
Yeah, so I definitely can imagine that you talked to them during that and they didn't really know anything. So now I think the fact, sorry, I'm using this to gauge like the idea of like when you go see them now, they're not surprised that you're coming to them to talk about this. Does that make sense? That's why I wanted to know. So you go up and you knock 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 and Will actually lets you into the studio. I don't know if I've showed you their studio yet. I'll get a picture for you. But
Nice.
basically, you guys all kind of sit around on this sort of chase lounge situation in front of like a stack, like a bookshelf, and talk with both of the Kenriths. What do you say? What do you do? What do you do after this happens to you? Most of you have never been in combat before in your lives, and never serious combat.
I think Falin is a little out of it. She's kind of leaning against the where she's sitting and has like her legs up, like folded in front of her, and she's gonna lean her head back and just say, "Are mimics a common thing here?"
You see, Will kind of give a helpless laugh and say, honestly, it's not rare for an occasional creature to show up on campus. A wayward mimic isn't unheard of. Mephits and things like that. Small things, not generally in the middle of
Owlbears.
campus. Not owlbears. I've never seen one in my entire time being here.
I'm assuming that we all shared what happened between all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motiva would point and say, "It's not just an owlbear. That was cardboard. You said it was a cutout."
Yes, it was a cutout cardboard, and did either of you hear about it happening in any other club?
Let me look at
Also,
my notes.
music.
Oh, I guess I can add some music back now that the super tense stuff is gone. Yeah, hold on. Here is the dorms and the studio. You guys are all kind of squished on that couch,
Yeah.
which is very on brand for right now.
Actually, can Motiva do something to fill
I
in?
have to get the music first. Give me a second.
What is
I guess
it?
it's fair.
I wanted to ask if I could braid Falin's hair to try and calm her down.
Oh, yeah.
So do it to Dove.
Get a
Dev
braid
would
chain going.
Dev would say yes, and honestly could probably use it because their hair is probably still a mess.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys are sort of chit-chatting, as serotonin, Motiva is just like stem braiding Dove and Felin's hair as a way of comfort. And I think that Rowan sort of runs a hand through her hair and looks sort of aggravated and kind of has to give like a shrug and say, I hate to say it, but I don't know yet. It just happened, and it's not like faculty really tells us things that we don't really have an in besides Onyx. And well, she doesn't quite have as much tenure to pull strings as you would think. So I haven't heard anything yet. If there
I
was any
see.
other ones, they've kept them quiet. Well, the students, not faculty. Like nobody has like talked about it, I guess, yet, because it just happened.
This was, I mean, it happened on the day of club signups when there was a lot of people in gathered areas. I know the faculty already said it, but this must have been done on purpose.
It had to have been. It had to have been because it happened at the same time. All in areas where a lot of people were at.
Exactly.
One doesn't turn cardboard into an owl bear for fun.
That's also not something that naturally happens either. Somebody would have had to have done something to make that happen.
And with the blanket, that must have been planted there.
I can only imagine.
Even with your equipment, Motiva, I feel like it would be monitored quite closely. I feel like you would have known if a stray mimic happened to wander in.
The LARP Club, we're a bunch of idiots, but we're good at looking at things. I'd like to think we'd notice something with as big as a mouth as that was.
That's the thing, is that everybody's like, oh, mimics can like look like items, but it's just look like. Like you
They
can't
wouldn't.
you can't use a mimic like a trunk. That's not how that works.
And why would it wait that long? It's a mindless creature. If it wanted food, it would have acted much sooner.
I stuck my hand in it more times than I'd like to count.
Hey God.
Yeah, what's up?
Do I remember seeing anyone that might have looked sus?
So that's a really fun thing. I'm gonna say roll history, and I will think about it because I didn't think about that question, but I like that question a lot.
And
I am
will hit
amazing at history. Oh, that 20!
Oh.
For 5!
Oh, that's really good. Okay. Oh, I have to make that spicy. I
I'm
have to
so
make the
good at
nat 20
remembering.
spicy. Everybody's like, oh, nat 20s don't have to be an automatic success. No, but they're cool as fuck, dude.
Also, look at that bonus from that nat 20. Look at that juice on it.
25.
Give me a second. Oh, 25 is so good. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. I know something I could tell you. Give me a minute. I'm pausing. I have to set this up. Okay. For Felin, this is... You almost feel like thinking about this must be like a stretch because of how weirdly specific this is. But the more you think about it, the more you realize that at the time you thought that it was normal because of the rain, because of the mist, because everything was kind of a little bit damp. But something that you remember because you were sitting on the ground near these blankets for a long time. And you picnics are not a picnics are a universal situation. When you lay down a blanket on the ground, it bunches up really easily, it gets lifted up really easy. If there's wind, it moves. If people move, it moves. You don't remember that ever really happening. And you remember, and again, you thought that this might have been the rain, but the grass seemed a bit darker in the stadium today. And those are the only things you can think of that were different in a place that you've been to a lot. And then for Motiva, you can't think of like a face or a build or anything, but you do know that a lot of people kind of, if they stopped by, they usually talked to you as sort of the person who greets people. You do sort of remember somebody stopping by just to kind of watch a bit of ways from where you guys were performing. And what's your passive perception? I'll give you a trait that you might remember them from.
My passive perception is 11.
11. Okay. It's not going to be a great one, but it'll be something. Give me a second. You think you remember. So, of the people who are interested in your club, very often it's things like Quandrix students, it's Prismaris, it's Loreholds. But you distinctly remember for an unnaturally long amount of time, at least now looking back, a Silver Quill woman stood and watched you perform, but you can't remember any other features besides her black and silver suit uniform.
It was specifically a suit.
Yes.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah. Sorry for the vagueness, but people weren't going to be able to tell shit, and then you guys got really high, and I'm like, I'm going to give my players a little treat.
I
Mackenzie,
think
do you want to roll at all?
Sure. I
Yeah.
will roll. What is it? What am I
History.
rolling? History.
Yeah, because it's you trying to like remember and kind of sift through your memories.
19.
19.
Hey!
Ooh. Okay, you're gonna have to give me a second because it's gonna have to be a different thing. So tell me what you're trying to remember.
I think I will also do someone because Dove was basically out front interacting with a lot of people. I don't think they would have noticed something off. I think they would have noticed someone that was off.
Yes. That's a very good idea. Okay, give me a second also. Yeah, so I think that what you would have noticed off, and it's unique enough to stand out, but again, at the time, with it being so busy and there's so many flashy outfits, especially outlandish ones at the place that you were at, maybe at the time it didn't ding anything off. But now you think that it might have stuck out a lot because a person that did kind of come by the area you were in, but kind of turned down any interaction from you, was a person wearing a mask, and it was silver and purple, is what you remember about it.
Okay.
It had a very
Interesting.
distinctive aesthetic, like it looked like it might have been made out of metal, but you can't remember exactly what it looked like.
hmm Interesting.
Hmm.
The music stopped playing. I have to play it again.
Is it a loop?
I forgot to loop it, but it'll come back now.
Oh. Motiva will look up and say, let's put together what we have.
Yeah, do a little brainstorm session.
I remember a silver quill woman in a suit, which is weird because silver quills don't want to interact with us.
I remember there was one person who didn't really want to interact with me, but just watched. And they were wearing a mask of silver and purple, I think. I want to say it was made of metal, but I'm not quite sure now.
The grass at the stadium was weird. It was darker than it usually is, and I had thought that it was just the rain, but looking back at it, I am not so sure.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that grass can be magicked.
A lot of inanimate objects can be cursed or hexed or transformed. I guess the thing is to figure out how. If they were there or if they found a way to do it while they weren't there.
How do those twins look? How do those Kenriths look?
Yeah, so that person who just spoke was Will, and Will looks to be like deep in thought, like hand on like jaw, sort of rubbing idly. And I want to actually say that Rowan is kind of pacing and thinking, like arms crossed. And she gives sort of a sigh and stops where she's standing and says, well, what classes do you guys have tomorrow?
What classes do we have
What
tomorrow?
classes do we have tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. You picked your classes. You tell me.
Ha! You fuckers, go ahead.
The multiverse with Professor Onyx.
All right, hard to work with. What about you?
Domestic applications of magic.
Oh wait.
No, you'd also have the multiverse.
Yeah, it would be the first
Oh,
week.
wait.
Oh, does everybody have that one?
Oh,
No, I don't. I have conjuring and counter conjuring.
I see.
It's easier
Okay,
to work
multiverse.
with. Well, okay. She goes to put her hands on her hips and says, Onyx is a little bit hard to finagle with that. But if you're willing to make a bad first impression, I think tonight is the best time to look around.
Aren't you fuckers going to church tomorrow?
Oh wait, tomorrow's the free day. That's right. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
classes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Never mind, actually. Then Rowan wouldn't even say that. Rowan would be like, I think tonight is the best time to do it. If we have to be sleep deprived tomorrow, so be it.
Yeah, that's your guys' problem. Motiva sits up. And she
Holidays
dusts
come and
herself
go,
off.
but
Mhm.
Felin, is that all right with you?
Yes, as much as I love the celebration, this feels more important.
I'm sure you've gone to services sleep deprived.
Absolutely.
exhaustion isn't really. Will kind of laughs and says, exhaustion isn't really something we're strangers to either. We'll see how it goes, but I think we should try to look around before too much time passes, if anything's left.
I think that is wise.
Do you think
Roommate. Oh, go ahead.
Deb's going to address the twins and say, do you think the faculty would hide this? I get the feeling that they've hidden stuff before.
You see they both kind of take a minute, but Will seems to be the person who can articulate what he wants to say first, and he says, I think that they would not publicize all the information immediately for want of avoiding panic. I think that it's not a terrible way to do things. And I think that they are at the very least more open than people like us or Onyx. But they're not above covering up something if it helps the institution. I believe that they wouldn't put us in danger, but what Strixhaven stands for is a very delicate thing that they have shown that they have to balance.
Do you think Mina or someone from the Star would perhaps have a bit more of a scoop?
If they've had the chance to sneak in to the investigation scene, sure. I definitely believe that they are weaselly enough to get information not a lot of people know about, but if individual people don't know about it and aren't circulating it, it's harder for students to find. They would have had to have been able to get on the scene with teachers to have more information than people like us who have been trying to ask around. If Onyx knows more than we do, she hasn't said yet, but then again, she might not know yet.
It's also only been a few hours.
Yeah,
Uh.
that's the thing we have to remember. It's that this is very fresh.
I will mention Ashan wasn't back in the room.
Oh, that's weird. He was... I mean, he would come and go. He didn't have like a great attention span, but I figured that he just went home whenever he left the last time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was already looking around himself.
He might have gone back under the biblioplex.
The what?
Was that Panini or was that the twins?
That was the twins.
Motiva just stares and she says, "Do you think that people have just been sitting around?"
You see that they kind of just stare at you until like Rowan just can't help but like let out a really loud bark of a laugh. And like it just starts like laughing not quite hysterically, but like with a lot of force, and just says, "I should have expected it. We did the same amount of digging when we first got here too. I don't know why it's surprising when it's the next generation."
Yes, I've been under the biblioplex. I got a nasty issue from it, but that's not the problem. He might be there.
Want to go try and find him? After we try to see if there's any clues.
Oh yeah, I can show the exact hole that I went down and everything.
If he's wily enough to have gotten down there so quick, then he might know something. Alright. It sounds like we have a plan. Get your things in order. We'll move out the minute it gets dark.
We're sneaky.
We doing
We're
sneaky
sneaking.
shit.
I could use the thing that I got, the little present I got.
Yes, your little present that you got. I think that
My
this is
little present.
I think that this is a really good time to basically cut the episode. If there's any preparation you guys in particular want to do really quickly, or like RP out a little bit, we can do it right now. We are not going to have RP between these games because it's going to be essentially like a 30-minute time period of just you getting things together really quickly to be able to do this sort of sneaking around. But you can DM me at any point if there are things you want to do, things you want to buy, things you want to trade, things you want to try to find. People you might want to contact.
Go ahead.
Yeah, your spell slots are fucked.
Fuck. Yeah, that sounds good. Damn. Fucked. Do y'all have anything to give the twins?
Not that I can think of right. Yeah, I'm good.
Mackenzie?
Nope.
No, got nothing. If I think of anything, I'll tell you
Wait a
later.
second.
Okay.
I don't I don't know, Panini.
I mean, it's just up to you. I don't want you to feel like it's too late. It's up to what you think Dove would do.
I can just say it was after the attack.
Okay. Then we'll stop recording officially.